right, so today we're going to talk about an awesome site called Edsitement. It is a huge resource, and while I was digging through collecting some information for one of my social studies units I was teaching this week, I was like, hey, this is fantastic, and there's so many resources for students kindergarten through 12th grade, and it covers from language arts to social studies to art to you could use this in any one of your classrooms. So it's fantastic. It's put together through the National Endowment for the Humanities, so the site edsitement.nih.gov. And I'm just going to walk you through some of the awesome resources that it has for educators and the different things that you can use it for. So just on their homepage, if you go through, it's driving excellence in humanities education, and it gives you kind of an overview between media resources, lesson plans, and teacher guides. They also have professional development programs for teachers and different connections. So that's all like on the homepage. What you'll find is if you go under the lesson plans link and you click to it, on the left-hand side here, you'll find all of the different topics. So if you're looking at arts and culture, they have all of the breakdown through there. If you're looking for something specific, if you're looking for history and social studies, they have civics, geography, U.S. and world history, and then they also have another section on literature and language arts. And then it goes from fiction to listening to novels and plays, poetry, speaking, viewing, all kinds of stuff. So there is just a huge collection of resources. If you're looking at something for grade specific, you can just pick your grade level K5, K12, and then middle school, middle high school, and high school. So while I'm digging around, I went to 6-8, and in the lesson plans, it will break down just by 6-8 plans alone. But then if you also want to search a specific content area, you can choose like U.S. history, 6-8, and then it will break the lesson plans down from there. For like 6th or 8th grade U.S. history, there's 59 different results for lesson plans. And what's really cool about these lesson plans is it kind of gives you a short overview. And then if you decide that's something that you want to dig into further, you can then click on the actual link that will take you to the lesson plan. What's really nice is it links to like Facebook, Twitter, but also it can link right into your Google Classroom, which always makes me happy because then I can find stuff and drop it right into my classroom as I'm teaching. The lesson plans all have guided questions that can help classroom discussion, obviously the learning objectives, and then they give you the background, and there's different media videos and audio recordings that are in there. It lines directly up with your standards, tells you specifically which ones, preparation, like what you have, and they actually have like if there's worksheets or different pieces of activities to go with it. Activities are there, breaks it down, walks you through all of that. So what's really nice about this, and of course there's an assessment that goes with to see if your students are gathering the information you want to from their learning. What's really nice about these lesson plans is they are laid out. There are lots of resources within the lesson plan, so you don't have to do every single piece of the lesson plan. You can just pick and choose. Maybe you really like that piece of media, or maybe you really like those discussion questions, or maybe you need some background for something you already teach and you kind of want to jazz up what you've done before. That's what I was using it for on some of my lessons on immigration. I needed some different resources than I had been using before, and I found quite a few, which was fantastic. And then when you're in the lesson plans, you can just go back, and if you didn't quite find what you're looking for, you can go back through and search some more. So there are lots of resources, which is wonderful, and they're very easy to find. And the lesson plans are great, again, if you're adding something you already teach, or maybe you're starting. I know a lot of teachers are kind of teaching different content area that they normally wouldn't teach. So there's just a lot of different resources there. There's also like specific like curricula that you can look if you're teaching, like some traditional readings are in there, and there's different challenges, all kinds of stuff. So you can look at that. And then teacher's guides, you'll find these in 2 different places. And if you click on teacher guides, then it's going to lead you directly to like overarching categories. So if you're looking for something on primary sources, which I know social studies teachers do a ton of, there are collections of primary sources. Again, you can drop it right in to your Google Classroom, and they have different types of collections that you can look at and different activities that go there. So like overarching topics that you will find under teacher guides, which is pretty awesome. And then the last section you'll see is media resources. And here, again, you can always sort, let's say if we're going to go into arts and culture, and I'm going to look through, let's say media art. And then I can dig through, this is any age group, and you'll find like quilts of the 19th and 20th centuries, and there's a whole video on it, which is kind of cool. So if you're doing some enrichment activities, or you want to bring in just some other resources into your teaching, there's a lot of options. If you want to look at photography, again, you could be teaching photography, or maybe students are exploring primary sources, or maybe they're exploring, styles of photography, or maybe it's an enrichment class. But then also, like if you're covering a topic like the Brooklyn Bridge, there also is a video on that, so you can learn more about the Brooklyn Bridge, and it covers photography at the same time. So there's just a lot of different ways that you can use these resources in your classroom, and they're just very well organized and easy to find. And it's nice that you don't have to do a ton of digging. You can just kind of search what you're looking for, type it in, or like if you're looking specifically for videos on a specific area, you can just search that out and find everything that you want to. So I was really excited to share this resource just because there's so many different ways you can use it in your classroom. And I was using it in my classroom this week, and I thought it might be kind of helpful for many other educators out there. So check out Edsitement. The last part of this too is in this little hamburger section over here. If you click on that, there's even more resources. There's student activities. Again, there's closer reading commentary, and some more different resources that you can look at. So that is an option as well. So there is tons to look at. Check out Edsitement, and I think you'll find a way to use it in your classroom.